What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of players in the NFC North that have recently opted out for the 2020 NFL season. And we're also going to be talking about what player the Detroit Lions cannot afford to lose for next season. Let's get it started. Welcome in, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. But before we get the video started, we have to slide over to the comment of the video. Okay, we're going to go comment of the video, not comment of the day, because I do more than one video a day. But also, I was thinking I could put other stuff up here, like the topic, a question of the day. So I could put a tons of different things up here. But today, we have another comment to look at. So let's slide over and let's check it out. This is from RJ Irving, who says, "Love the vids, bro. You're helping me get through a tough time in my life. Thank you for bringing joy into my day. Can't wait for the season." Shout out to RJ Irving for this one, man. Hey, I'm glad I could help, okay? This makes me feel so good when I read stuff like this. RJ, I hope everything is okay in your life, and just know, if you ever need anything, you can hit me up on social media, pretty much anywhere. I do my best to respond to everybody that I can, and I just hope everything is okay in your life. But this is the kind of thing that makes you love what you do. You know, this is why I love what I do, because this kind of thing just makes me feel so good. And but hopefully everything is okay with you, RJ. If you need anything, reach out to me. I'm here for you. And yeah, so thank you, RJ, for the nice message. I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel really good. And yeah, let's just hop right in this video, man. So let's talk about it. So a couple of players have recently opted out of the 2020 NFL season in the NFC North. But these aren't just any guys. Like, these are big name players that have a very big impact on the field. So before we talk about those guys, I want to talk about how the opting out really does work. So from my knowledge, here's how it works. If you opt out for the 2020 NFL season, you can earn up to $150,000 that season. Now, if you opt out for the 2020 season and you're at high risk, you can earn up to $350,000 that season. Now, I don't exactly know what is high risk and what's low risk. I don't exactly know how they decide that. Like, is it if you have kids? Is it because of the area you live in? I really don't know how they do that, but that is how the money's going to work. So if you guys know anything else about it that maybe I didn't touch on just there, make sure you put it in the comment section below so everybody else can see it. But now let's talk about a few players that have recently opted out. So recently, the New England Patriots have been losing a lot of talent defensively. And this is a team that already lost a lot of talent in free agency that kind of tried to retool throughout the draft. They have recently lost Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower for the 2020 NFL season. Those are two big losses, and there could definitely be more to come. Now, I do want to point this out that apparently there is a COVID reserve list. I didn't know what this was, but I guess it's like the injury list where it doesn't necessarily mean you're out for the season or anything like that, or they have it. It just means that at one point they were exposed to it. So there are a couple of teams with those lists, with players on those lists. For example, the Minnesota Vikings. One of the assistants with the Minnesota Vikings actually has it, and maybe that's part of why other people are exposed to it. But, you know, there are a couple players on that list for the Minnesota Vikings. One of those guys being Justin Jefferson. Look, guys, at the end of the day, it's, you know, we love talking about football and things like that, but we do need to make sure that everyone is safe. Okay, I don't get into the metrics and stats and everything behind that, but I do know that, hey, at the end of the day, these people need to be safe. Okay, these people are what make the sport. So we need everybody to be healthy. So hopefully everybody is healthy. We're never going to wish that anybody gets sick or anything like that. That's terrible. So I just want to point that out right now. But for the football side of it, it does have an impact on the field for sure. And we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings first. Their big name that they lost for the 2020 NFL season, at least up to this point, could be more, is Michael Pierce. Now, Michael Pierce was one of the big additions they made this offseason, a defensive tackle who they signed for 3 years, $27 million. He was basically trying to replace a guy like Linval Joseph. They also lost Everson Griffin, so they bring in Michael Pierce to kind of, you know, solidify the defensive line again. And now that he has opted out of the season, they have a big hole on the defensive line. That's a huge hole in the defensive line. The Minnesota Vikings already have questions heading into next season with young guys, new guys trying to step in. Justin Jefferson now on the reserve list. There's a lot of question marks. Delvin Cook potentially holding out. And now you get a guy like Michael Pierce, who you just brought in, that is not going to play for the 2020 NFL season. So it looks like the Vikings, we don't know what the heck we're going to get out of the Vikings. I mean, coming into the offseason, I thought the Vikings were the most complete team in the North. Other than the Detroit Lions, obviously, you know, because I got to put bias aside there. But for the Minnesota Vikings, honestly, they have a lot of question marks heading next season. So we'll see how that works out for them. And then the other team we're going to talk about is the Chicago Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears lost their top defensive lineman as well, Eddie Goldman. Yes, Eddie Goldman, who some people think is the best defensive tackle, you could name his defensive tackle, in the NFC North. The 6'3", 318-pound defensive lineman has also opted out of the season. Now, obviously, they still have some other good pass rushers there. But again, this is a big loss. A guy that has career 12.5 sacks, 157 total tackles. And like I said, people recognize this guy as one of the best defensive linemen in the North. So now you've got two great players that are out for the 2020 NFL season. Now, obviously, I like to play teams at their full strengths. I mean, it can be an advantage when they're not there. I like to beat a team with whatever you got. Bring whatever you got. We're going to beat you with that. That's how I like to look at things. But this is still a huge impact. Now, for the Detroit Lions, good thing, we haven't heard anybody opt out yet. However, we know that could change. Now, someone asked me this question. They said, hey, who is that player that you think the Lions can't afford to lose next season? Well, to me, I think that's a very simple answer. It's Matthew Stafford. It was proven last year we can't afford to lose Matthew Stafford in any circumstance. Now, obviously, if he makes that decision to opt out and everything like that, I understand it. I understand it fully. He needs to stay healthy, and so does his family. I know he just had a new baby, so you know what? Hey, if he decides to do that, I have no problem with it at all. At the end of the day, it's the player's decision to stay healthy, stay safe. But if there is a player, when you're talking about specifically on the field, that the Lions cannot afford to lose, it's Matthew Stafford. Losing Matthew Stafford would be a huge blow for this team in 2020. And for the Lions, I'm looking across the roster. I don't necessarily know if many players that are on contract years are going to opt out. I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, you think Taylor Decker would opt out for the season when he's trying to get paid? Kenny Galladay, I guess he could because he's kind of already proven himself. But some of those guys that are on the contract deals, I think, may not opt out. And then you see guys that are on a bubble, they definitely won't because they want to try to get that playing time. So, you know, we'll see where this goes. But I would definitely say Matthew Stafford is a guy that on the field we can't afford to lose. Now, we did bring in Chase Daniel, but let's be honest here, Matthew Stafford and Chase Daniel, it's a pretty big difference. So I will keep you guys updated if we have any more news like this. I'm sure we will. We'll see what happens. It's crazy. It is crazy right now, but those are two big losses to two NFC North foes. So the North may literally be open. I actually saw a tweet today from someone that said, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the analysts, and they were like, hey, you know, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen's going to lead the Buffalo Bills to a Super Bowl contention, and the Detroit Lions will win the North. Two bold predictions. Yes, those are very bold predictions, but it may become a reality in 2020. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I will keep you guys updated. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you, Prop, for watching. And later, we will talk about the NFL Top 100. Thank you, Prop, for watching, and I'm out.